My name's Luca Dolman. I just went spearfishing with no fins out the back, and I just shot the fish of a lifetime. We are out here on a remote island in the middle of the South Pacific in the Tuamotu archipelago on the island of Makamo. And today, in need of some lunch, we're gonna head out wide, but there's a catch. We're gonna be spearfishing with 0 fins. On my plane ride over here, I don't know if you watched my previous episode, but I actually broke one of my fins. So today we're gonna challenge ourselves. We're gonna be looking for a big grouper, big snapper, maybe a trevally, something along those lines. We are in an incredible spot here. So gorgeous, so beautiful. I can't wait to get in the water. I'm starving. This is gonna be a sick episode, spearfishing with no fins, truly getting back to basics, trying to figure it out here in the South Pacific. See you in the water. Before we hop in and get wet, I just wanted to show you guys quickly the setup that we're dealing with. So like I said, my fins are actually broken. So we got my phone in case of emergency. Not really like anyone that I could call, but still have it just in case. Got my weight belt, dive knife. We got our mask, a snorkel. We're just gonna get suited up here and hop in. I'm stoked, I'm hungry. Let's get wet. Getting involved now. I do have my flip-flops on, just because there are stonefish out here. For those that don't know, stonefish are one of the most dangerous fish, or probably the most poisonous animal, to be honest, in the entire world. And they kind of live like right in this rocky kind of area. So I'm just being careful, got my flip-flops on, so hopefully don't get stung here trying to get out, but I'll get involved here pretty quick. Man, I'm fired up to get in the water. Let's get it. Ocean survival, baby. Living off the land, trying to get some food. With no fins, out here in paradise. Let's go! Woo! You guys could tell how clear and beautiful this water is. Absolutely gorgeous.
I've been hunting this specific school of parrotfish for the better side of a week now, and until today, with no fins, I've never been able to close the gap and land one of these beautiful eating fish. After all that commotion, this beautiful reefie comes to check us out, looking for a free meal. Not today, brother. The school has stayed within range, and I quickly reload my gun and find a good hiding spot. With 2 fish lined up already, I just decided to take a moment and take in the absolute beauty that surrounds me. As I'm heading out wide into deeper water, I come across this pualu, a great fish for frying whole. I stumble across this beautiful bommy with a really nice sized marble grouper defending its entrance.
Okay, so we've come across our first bobby here. How it works is I'm just gonna dive down, poke my head in the hole, and hope somebody's home. Fingers crossed, let's go.
So I actually saw this fish from the surface dart into the bommy. I had no idea how big he actually was, but I just saw his massive fin and I knew we could be onto something special. So I actually spent around an hour or 15 dives trying to retrieve this fish. It's an incredibly intricate coral system, and he had wrapped himself deep inside. Finally able to land a fish of a lifetime with no fins out here in the South Pacific.
That was a grouper. Let's go, baby. Marble grouper, what a shot. Down there deep in the cave. Absolutely gorgeous fish. You got lunch, baby. So we just got out of the water on an incredible shore dive. Just unbelievable. I'm really starting to love this no fins aspect to this whole thing. Really adds a whole nother dynamic, a whole nother challenge to spearfishing. But anyway, it was an epic dive. I came across one of my favorite fish in the entire ocean, a marbled grouper, and a massive one at that. Absolutely gorgeous fish. I got his little brother too, right here lined up. The first grouper, he came out into the sand, and I was able to sneak up on him, place a holding shot, no problem. That's this guy right here. Still a pretty decent sized grouper right there for out here in the South Pacific. But then the monster, he was holed up on a big bommy or coral head. And I just got lucky, put myself as far in as I could. It was open and then it closed really quick into like a little tunnel. I could just see his monster head. When shooting grouper, it's super important to shoot him in the head, because if you shoot him broadside, when the fish is turned sideways, now you're trying to pull out basically a 2x4 out of a tiny little hole, which is never gonna work. But I was lucky enough to place a headshot, so I was able to yank on him. He did get tangled up a bit, but I think I stoned him. I think I hurt him pretty bad. So I pulled on him really hard and was able to land the fish. So stoked. Along with those 2 grouper, we also picked up 2 beautiful ponanu, or starry-eyed parrotfish, and also a nice pualu that we'll probably fry whole, which is gonna be beautiful eating tonight. Out here in the South Pacific, ice is very hard to come by. Water in general is hard to come by, so the best kind of fish preservation method I've come up with is to create a ring of rocks to kind of guard from the eels and just keep them in the ocean water and let them hopefully be preserved like that. But I'm gonna head back to the place now. I think we're gonna make some nice grouper nuggets with these guys. There's no bread on the island, unfortunately, so we're just gonna have to go straight nuggets, but man, I'm so stoked on these fish. Thanks for staying tuned, and we'll see you back at the place cooking these guys up. Yes, sir. You know it's getting heavy when Buddy struggles to fit in the basket. Let's go, baby. So stoked on this fish. Absolute doza. It's gonna be so delicious. Incredible table fare. I'm just gonna head back to my place now, and we'll get these guys cooked up. Yes, sir. Just trying to grind through this backcountry here on the tricycle. It struggles a little bit, but look at this spot. Absolutely insane location here. I'm starting to trek home. It's about 2 miles on the bike. I'm getting really hungry, so I'll see you guys when I get there. Struggling at this stuff. Tricycle's not having it. Mile 1.5 back home. Incredible ride here. Honestly makes the 2 miles seem like nothing when you got a view like that. I'll admit though, it is hot and that sun's beating down on my back. We're almost there. We'll get these fish filleted up. Get the cooker going. Let's go, baby. So we are coming up on my favorite part of this ride, the crossing into the village. So how it works basically is this side here is the village with about, I think, like 400 inhabitants, and then that down there is just straight country, straight nothing. So that's where we fish. It's a little bit of a bike ride, but it's okay because we have views like this. And then this obviously here is the main road heading into town, if you can call it a town. So then 10 seconds later, we turn down this little dirt road to the ocean, hang a right, and we're at my crib. Not the worst spot in the world. A little bit of a downhill ride. We're now at the ocean. Ocean side. We got this seawall here because the tide rushes in. And then my house is my neighbor's right here. And that's my house right there with the green roof. Just gonna fillet these guys up right now. We'll get them cooked up for you. Nice little bike ride back home. I'm just gonna grab the fillet knife and we got these fish chopped up and throw them straight on the cooker. We're gonna do that little grouper, snapper bites. So just fried fish. Stoked, let's go. All right, we sharpened the knife and I just wanna show you guys my view from the place here. Walk outside, got the dining room table there, and then straight into the ocean. I'm gonna wait for that sunset right now. Get these fish filleted up. Okay, we got our 2 beautiful marbled grouper from about 30 minutes ago. I'm just gonna fillet these guys up quickly. So you guys have seen me fillet fish a million times, but basically I'm just trying to get that one cut there. And I like to run my knife down the side here. It's going in about maybe a ½ inch and then kicking it out the other side. Flip it around and then start at the top there and find the spine and just slide your knife down, creating a beautiful fillet. marbled grouper meat. Beautiful fillet there. As you can see, hardly any meat left. What we're gonna do with this if there's any extra, we're gonna feed the birds. The birds should be coming anytime now. So I'll flip this guy over and then do the donkey. First grouper done, paper thin. We're gonna wait for those birds to come. Now, onto the donkey, the doza marbled grouper. Well, I was always taught, whatever I don't use of the fish, I toss it back to where he or she came from. And that's just kind of to honor the fish's life. At the end of the day, I am killing something. I am taking something out of its home. So I just want to give the skeleton back to where it came from and feed kind of whatever marine life's in there, the eels, the crabs, the little fish, all that different type of stuff. So, and I'm not preaching. I want to make that very clear. I'm just telling you what I do. I'll admit, that is a beautiful piece of meat right there. So just like I said, the birds have showed up. I'll give them a quick feed here. So cool. Beautiful evening out here in the South Pacific. Right on cue, we've got some monster eels going after the skeleton. I hope you guys can see that. Wow. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but we got all the little fish working there. As you can see, nothing out here goes to waste. Nothing at all. There's zero waste. Every part of the fish gets eaten either by me, other fish in the ocean. So super sustainable stuff we're doing, only picking exactly what we need. I understand I'm taking something out of the ecosystem, but that's where I get my food. That's where I get my protein. I'm not eating any other protein out here other than what I catch sustainably and ethically from that ocean there. All right, we got those fish all filleted up there. Birds are well fed. So here we go, 2 full plates. Pretty solid haul there, but what I'm gonna do is half of it, I'm gonna do that grouper snapper nugget thing. I'm just gonna heat up some oil, toss them in there, and it's gonna be good to go. The other half with the bigger fillets, I'm going to pan sear them and then bake them for 10 to 12 minutes. I will not take credit for this recipe at all. I got this off of Key West Waterman YouTube page. He did this with a black grouper and it looked absolutely impeccable. So we're gonna try it here today on this marbled grouper. Let's get into it. All right, so we've cut our grouper up into little chunks, put it in the milk, an egg, and flour, double dip. We just got them frying right now. I'm gonna kind of break it up. Do the nuggets first, and then the fillets seared and baked, just because I don't want to have to deal with 20 million things at once. This is already enough for me, so I'll just let these guys cook up, and that's step 1. Yeah, beautiful golden brown. So all the nuggets are getting dialed in here, getting cooked up. And now we're just gonna keep it super simple for these fillets. We're just gonna throw some salt on there. I wish I had pepper, or else I'd throw some pepper on there, but I don't. And we're just gonna heat up this oil, sear them both sides, then throw them in the oven to bake for around, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. They're pretty thick fillets, so around 10 minutes should be good. Okay, I'll try and do this without killing myself here. We are getting so dialed in. Let's go. So fillets, we get put in the oven 10 minutes or so to bake. And we should be getting dialed in, bruh. In the meantime, I'm gonna get stuck into some of these nuggets. I'm starving. Let's go, baby. So I think our grouper is done. However, I haven't thought this through completely because I don't have any cooking mittens. So I don't know what I'm gonna do here. Fuck. I might slide it onto this glass and then just take it out like that, but fuck. And voila! So here we have our seared marbled grouper and then thrown in the oven to bake, and then we just got our grouper nuggets. But I am so hungry. It is 9 o'clock and I have not eaten breakfast or lunch today. Been fishing all day trying to make this happen, but man, so stoked on these fish. This one fish, or I guess 2 fish, are gonna feed me for the entire week. I now have food and for the entire week. So I'm stoked, I'm frothing, but I get stuck into this thing. Thank you guys once again so much for watching. It means a lot to me. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I know it's some bullshit. I know it's super annoying, but that's how this video gets pushed through the algorithm and helps me out to keep making more and more of these episodes. But thanks again so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next week. Dolman checking out.